out on a little bit there. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I do think they are a bit stronger. Like they felt like the exploration bonus felt a lot more important. I think in DE where you don't see your starting berry straight away, and I feel like that bonus doesn't mean as much anymore. Just to make sure that guys can catch rate. So we load us in. Oh, I've just realised I've got the music going still. Let me view that real quick. But yeah, we'll get ourselves into game 1 of the series. Like I said, Blackwoltz versus Takeawaybongo. Both players on the Shang, so we're having another repeat of the Shang mirror from, I think it was on Rez's series actually. There's been a lot of games today. It's a little struggle to remember them all. Blackwoltz has a very closed area around his base there. He's got like quite unusual berry spawn right up against those that tree line there. There's golden stone at the back, potentially fairly wallable. Bongo at the top, a lot more open on that side, and both players going for the elephants at the start, but Bongo is gonna miss out on that one as Blackwoltz is the first to get that. And he does, he's not really got the run to the center to really, looks like sometimes you get lucky finding those outer central elephants. Oh no, actually no, he's wrapping around now, so possibly he will find those on the way back. But yeah, definitely a good start for Blackwoltz there. And how would you approach a mirror game with the Shang in particular here? Would you think about your opponent being Shang as well, or would you just try to stick to your own game plan?
I think you've got to probably just stick with your own game plan a little bit.
Yeah.
But and also maybe play the map as well. Bongo. I mean, with Return of Rome, I think it's a little bit easier to wall. The wood line's a little bit bigger.
Right.
Blackwoltz can definitely get a early quick wall in, and then sort of later on expand the walls a bit more. He's just noticed Bongo's villager there.
Yeah. It looks like, I think Bongo was maybe just deciding that he was going to just try and find his opponent potentially there, but then the forward villager from Blackwoltz spots that, because it feels like it was a little bit early to start going for like the forward barracks. Obviously Shang can get some pretty nice up times, and 0 idle TC time from Blackwoltz is very nice there.
Yeah, and the fact that he got those Ellies early just gets that out of the way, and Bongo hasn't picked up his Ellies. Yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate miss.
I mean, a restrictor was saying that Bongo might call a re, but 4 minutes has passed now, so that is no longer an option. And Bongo has kind of led Blackwoltz back to his base slightly. Obviously, he didn't see any of his opponent's buildings, but he's probably got a very good idea that that's where Bongo is now. Funnily enough, Blackwoltz is actually going to lead both players to these elephants now, so we'll see if the... I was going to say if the villager stops chasing it and does grab the elephants, but weirdly enough, that pans out for Bongo in the end. Both players...
that was nice of Blackwoltz to do that.
That was kind of him, balance out there. So we're about to get to 20 vills for both players, which Bongo nearly has the 500 food there, so it looks like Blackwoltz maybe an extra villager too many on wood in the earlier phases of the game. He's going to have to wait a little bit of idle TC time sneaking in, and Bongo is going to bring that 3 elephant train back, and it's going to be the first up to Tool Age here. And there's another villager sneaking forward in the center of the map for Bongo as well. Barracks is going to go semi-forward for Blackwoltz. I'm never a huge fan of these sort of like middle map barracks, because it just feels like it's the worst of both worlds. You're not at home when you're not at your opponent. But we'll see how that pans out. Bongo does put the barracks down now. So Blackwoltz is going to be the first to be able to get clubber production going, but then he's still a ways off from his opponent. But like I said, he does have a good idea where his opponent is, so he should be able to just send those straight in the correct direction straight away. And we'll see what responses for Bongo.
I feel Blackwoltz is struggling a little bit with the Gazelle push on Rome. Right. Slightly different to DE. I'm noticing some 1v1s and team games. I think it's just getting used to it a little bit, but he's managed to get them.
They're sort of there-ish. That's a sort of crazy Ivan effort of Gazelle pushing there. It was one of the things I've always been terrible at in Main Week 1 is pushing the Gazelle. Ooh, actually, villager at the bottom getting taken out by a wolf potentially. No, okay, he didn't die. But we do see double archery range. Was it double? Yeah, double archery range from Blackwoltz there. Clubber does find the opponent now. It's only just getting to Bongo, and obviously not going to do too much against the house there. Double barracks plus an archery range for Bongo. And that's going to mean he can switch quite easily into slingers once he sees Blackwoltz committing to bows, although Blackwoltz are already going for slingers himself. It's quite unusual to see slingers this early in Return of Rome, but like I say, maybe a little bit of DE brain from Blackwoltz to borrow your phrase. Oh, that villager on the wall gets picked off, actually, on the south side. And the axes are now going to start wrapping around from Bongo. So even though Blackwoltz has the front of his base walled up, he's a little bit exposed on the south side now.
Yeah, he's left it a little bit late now.
Yeah.
He just sent that villager sort of... He could see where he wanted to wall, but he didn't get that wall up, and... Well, he's still laying the foundations of that.
Yeah,
the Bongo's in on him already. So.
I mean, the two villagers do slip past, so potentially the wall does go up, but the axes are already in. Bowmen are going to defend, though. So, Blackwoltz still in an okay-ish position, but obviously not the ideal start.
Yeah, he's going to spot Bongo's villager, but realises there's 4 axes there, so
maybe those walls don't go up then. So yeah, this is going to give Bongo free access to the base for quite some time. Plenty of bows in defense then, like I said. Okay, yeah, a couple of slings out from Bongo, but not massively committing to that unit just yet.
Blackwoltz is 3 villagers ahead, so Bongo's maybe taken away off his economy a little bit. He's got some small walls.
Yeah.
Gonna have to expand that at some point, maybe.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, Bongo's map's pretty open, so he has gone for this, like almost like AoE 2. You see this sort of style walls in AoE 2 quite a lot, where they wall to the TC instead of like walling to like wood lines. We do see a bit of a fight at the bottom of the map, though. I think there might have actually been a villager that got caught out there. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And yeah, so Blackwoltz are already committing to the Slinger Bowman combination, which can be very strong in the Tool Age. It's quite difficult to break that ranged unit mixture. Like the main counter to both those units would be like the Scout, but if you're not already invested in that unit, it's very expensive to switch into.
Yeah.
So Bongo forced away for the time being.
I think Bongo may have walled like that just from maybe seeing Blackwoltz clubman, maybe thought a lot more axes were coming to his base.
Right,
but the axe, but yeah, it was kind of Blackwoltz didn't go ahead with that, just made some ranged units. And Bongo's axe have not really achieved anything right now, and now Black has got, the double sling bowman combination, so the axe are really not going to do much.
And like you said, Blackwoltz has had that villager lead for some time now, and it's stretched a little bit again. Walls still haven't quite gone up for Blackwoltz, but he's still trying. I think these villagers might get taken out, dude. So I think maybe that villager will escape. Oh, maybe not. But we're going to see a little bit of an engage here. And I think Blackwoltz probably has the stronger army at the moment, but there's a good number of slingers now from Bongo.
Yeah.
And he's
Black has got 8 bowmen coming as reinforcements.
Yeah, here they come. And so Bongo's pretty chilling back at home, but despite that, Blackwoltz has managed to keep the eco production going, and now we see the archers pressing forward from Blackwoltz. And again, Bongo feels like he's forced back. It's 17 military units to 13. So yeah, Blackwoltz, it's a bit of an edge there. Well, both in eco and military now. And a lot of wood in the bank for Bongo, actually just noticed, but we've seen an engage again. And the slingers...
He's desperate to get that wall up, isn't he?
Yeah, he really wants to get...
out all the stops.
You can see, it sort of makes sense, because it's like he's secure everyone else, right? It's just, if you can seal that off, he can just sort of like start building himself up. There we go, and he's just backs off. So, all said and done, I think, like you said, Bongo not really able to do much there in the end. He picked up an extra couple of villagers, but Blackwoltz 4 villas up now.
Yeah, and Blackwoltz is still actually open, so he's probably going to realise that soon. But he walled off the, you know, where the threat was coming from. So.
Yeah. I hadn't actually noticed that myself, so it's a good job you pointed that out. But yeah, so big, massive slingers for both players. Oh, actually, okay, he's adding it. Blackwoltz is adding in more slingers now. I was going to say more switch back onto the bowman, but it's a little bit rough going for bowman when your opponent has that many slingers. Obviously, you do have that one extra range. Actually, woodworking's not in for Blackwoltz, so that's actually not true. So this fight could be a little bit testy for him. And it's a little bit on the verge of the battle. Let's see if either player commits. And
yeah, Bongo is just making slingers. I think he's realising Black is a bit overstacked on bow.
And yeah, woodworking is just coming. I think potentially Bongo may have been able to take that fight, but it's like just because he had the highest slinger number. But it's always really tough to call when it's like that similar amount of units. You just gotta eyeball it right in the game. And just get a feel for it. Defensive tower coming up for Bongo, as he had actually put a pit on the stone, and Blackwoltz is now pushing out. Bongo is just staying in his opponent's base though, trying to push with this archery range. So we could see a
quick tower is
coming
coming at a crucial moment. Yeah.
Is it going to go? It does go up. Slingers can kind of just run underneath. Those bowmen are a little bit more susceptible, but the tower has kind of just been run straight past it, like I said. So some of the villagers going to be forced idle. One of the the farmers doesn't go down. Just jumps into the TC here. Let's have a look on Blackwoltz.
There's a big advance on Black space. Yeah, he made that decision to send his army forward, but with hindsight, probably need them back defending right now.
Yeah, both players going on the aggression, and I guess they both felt safe enough to go for this play, and it feels like Bongo's actually got the... Oh, actually, no, they're both in. Bongo runs out the back of his base there, but at the same time he's running straight into Blackwoltz's. And more eco kills in the favour of Blackwoltz. Blackwoltz is still 4 vills up, 5 vills up in fact, as we see some kills go back. But I feel like in the panic station mode, maybe Blackwoltz is suffering a little bit more here. Although that said, there's all those villagers at the top left for Bongo that are just going to be idle. He has plenty of wood. He can rebuild. But this game has got very messy all of a sudden, Jesse.
Yep, certainly has.
And where are we going? Yeah, so Blackwoltz is trying to rebuild his base on the south side. Bongo rebuilding on the top left.
A few more villagers getting picked off at Black space as well.
Yeah, it's 14 eco kills for Bongo now.
But Black has found Bongo's villagers at the top, 12 o'clock.
Alright, yeah, some escaped out on the elephant. That's going to be quite a few kills there. And
big strike.
Yeah, I mean, 8 villas ahead now for Blackwoltz. Even though Bongo is actually getting more eco kills, it just, I guess, Blackwoltz just had his eco set up a little bit better to just keep that villager production going for more of the game, and that's... I mean, I guess he's behind on military. It's very close at the moment. It's a bit difficult to call this. And like I said, once those big, massive ranged units is up, it is quite hard to like break that ball of units. Like again, scouts is the unit, but it's just very expensive to switch in. And I don't think either player is really capable of doing that at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit brave of Blackwoltz to set up a little mini kind of township just outside the wall where he ran out of. And Bongo didn't initially push through, but now he is.
Yeah.
And Bongo's also kind of getting his villagers back working at his base, whereas Black is just under a huge amount of pressure there.
Yeah. But I mean, looking at the idle TC timer, you can see how that villager discrepancies happened. It's over 7 minutes for Bongo, and it's only 2 for Blackwoltz, despite all the craziness. Obviously, they're both Shang, So it's a little bit easier to keep that village production going. And Blackwoltz is, I don't know if he deleted that TC, or maybe Bongo did actually destroy it. But new TC going up on the northeast side for Blackwoltz. Well, actually Bongo has found the eco at the bottom here, but Blackwoltz does have his army ready to defend. So I think Bongo is actually going to lose a good chunk of these units here.
Blackwoltz villagers have found Bongo's storage pit as well. They're just chilling by it. But yeah, he's going to push Bongo away for now. He's even getting some villagers to help out, but probably doesn't need to.
There's like action all over the map at the moment. It's a little bit hard to know where to focus at the moment. What's this coming down? Oh, it's just another pit on the stone. I guess maybe try and get some more walls, maybe some towers up, as the game is getting pretty crazy, so it'd be good to try and get some good match. Ooh, there's a villager fight going up on the left side, on just below the wood line. Both players just getting the bones out. And Blackwoltz getting the little bit of advantage there, actually. Obviously, you have to be paying attention to the Vil fights, because they don't just keep attacking, you've got to keep commanding them. It looks like Bongo looks away. Fight on the bottom right. Fight on the bottom right from Bongo.
Huge wave slingers coming now on at 6 o'clock. It's going to be tough for Blackwoltz, I think.
And actually Bongo has managed to click to bronze during all the madness. So like you say, Bongo did a good job of getting himself like back onto the eco, and that's obviously allowed him to build up the food he needs. And obviously that's a very good way of breaking the tool age stalemate, is being the first to get to bronze. Obviously you have to make sure you don't die on the way up, but I think Bongo is in a fairly solid position now. And Blackwoltz rebuilding his base at that new TC of his, but I think this is starting to look very Bongo favoured now at this point.
Yeah, he's also got 1,000 food as well. He's done a really good job to keep his economy going. I mean, he was able to get his villagers back to work on his farms, but he's expanded as well, spread out around the map.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like you said, Bongo sort of found where Blackwoltz was, but the reverse didn't really happen, and GG is just called. He just taps out as soon as Bronze Age comes in. I guess Blackwoltz knew he was going to be quite a while away from clicking up himself, and that was a very crazy game one. I'm glad I actually had a second pair of eyes there to help, like, because it's playing a series. But I guess Blackwoltz's idea is he's just going to go for the all-in, and I think actually was maybe against Egyptians. Yeah, because I was saying that he needs to respond with chariots, with the extra HP chariots. But again, I can't remember who is actually playing in this series. But yeah. So I've gone on record saying I feel like Persians are one of the worst civs in the game on this map, just because like none of their bonuses really do anything on this map, apart from if you can get that early pressure out. So I'm almost convinced that is going to be play, unless you have some other ideas for what Blackwoltz might do.
Well, yeah, I actually remember you saying, and I think a few people have said that Persians are definitely one of the weaker or weakest civ potentially on closed maps. But yeah, Carver has reminded me of something.
All right. That wasn't me. Okay. That wasn't me trying to like not rub it in. I just genuinely couldn't remember that. But yeah, sorry, carry on with your train of thought.
I've erased my entire memory of that set versus Cambridge, so I don't know anything what you're talking about, Carver. So yeah, I'll just ignore that. But yeah, maybe I mean Blackwoltz. So far from what I've seen, he's sort of coped well in Tool, but he's not really gone many games like all out aggression in Tool. So obviously on a closed map, yeah, I'm not sure he's gonna have to throw a lot in to break through, because Bongo will be good at rewalling and building some counter units. So yeah, I don't know. It feels risky, but it feels like it might be his only choice, because if Egyptian gets a Bronze Age, I'm not feeling confident for Black.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, other than arguably the Hittites, Egyptian's almost definitely one of the strongest civs in that Bronze Age. And yeah, but like I said, it was curious because Citadels is Blackwoltz's own map. So again, it feels like he had the idea in his head that this is the play he wanted to go for.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I say, if he's not too well practiced on like the uber quick rushes in the tool age, we'll have to see how that pans out. And like I say, Bongo, very strong player, so he's going to be capable of, if anyone's be able to hold that defense, he's going to be one of the better players to just get himself up there.
I think the one thing that Bongo may do wrong in this game is he may try too soon to get Siege Workshop up and maybe invest a bit too much wood in that and collecting some gold, whilst Blackwoltz could mass the cav and sort of shut down any forward push. Probably would be better for Bongo to maybe get some mass CA together, but he's very good. The reason I say that, he's very good at like breaking through quickly and kind of catching you off guard a bit.
Yeah.
So let's see if he tries that sort of very early bronze push with the Siege Workshop and a few CA.
Right. So you want him to get like more control of the map before seeing that Siege come out then?
I'm just saying that in itself, it might give opportunity for Blacks to spam a load of cav and kind of shut that down, but it's difficult to say. It's kind of some narrow margins in games like this, isn't there, with two good players? But
yeah, for sure.
Bongo's definitely got a huge amount of experience on Citadel. So I think he won the Citadel tournament, right?
Yeah, I think he did actually. It was quite a while ago since we played that, but I think it was Bongo that picked up the trophy for that one.
Yeah.
There were some pretty good games in that. I think we did that over one weekend, right? We did like the whole thing. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And Unrestricted organised that, and I think he's got some ideas for some other kind of short weekend tournaments and stuff, so it could be quite nice.
Yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, Blackwoltz obviously taken a pretty big. In fact, let's have a look at where we are. Village account, 20 vills up for Blackwoltz here. 19 seconds idle TC. It's not too bad, but obviously you want to be as fast as you possible. It feels like Bongo's gone for slightly safer 22 vills instead. I think normally is 23 is the usual for the fast bronze sort of time. So maybe just give himself the bronze a little bit quicker. Actually, there's a forward villager from Bongo here, I've just noticed. And Blackwoltz is only just putting up his barracks now. So read into this. There's a barracks right onto the base from Bongo. Is Bongo just going to try and flip the script here, or is this? Do you think this is just going to be like a bait? Do you think this is barracks just to like force Blackwoltz to panic a bit?
Possibly, and just I've got a feeling Bongo's going for a fast bronze push.
Yeah, because
he's got the two buildings coming down.
Yeah, archery range market.
Archery range at home.
Sorry to cut you over there, Jesse, but yeah, archery market is gone up. And I said, to be fair, Blackwoltz looks like he's going to the Bronze Age as well, which, as you said earlier, I think just spells doom for Blackwoltz, really. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he tries to play, but I feel like Egyptians just have an answer to basically everything Persians can do. Obviously, Persians usually want to play the cavalry, like you say, but Egyptians can just play camel in that situation. Or they could obviously just go to their priests as well. Very, very strong priests from the Egyptians, as we all know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, do you think Blackwoltz is just going to go for the cavalry? He's got the stable out.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, Blackwoltz didn't really respond to that. I mean, that was a definite bait, wasn't it? It was like, here's a barracks. What, are you going to do some panic move or something? Put a tower down, build some bowmen or something. But Blackwoltz hasn't fallen for that. He's just kept with his plan to get to bronze. I'm guessing he's going to get some. Oh, he's going for archery range. Okay.
Yeah, with it. I mean, you can go for the composite bowman, and to be fair, Egyptians can't get cavalry, which is usually the best units for dealing with that, but obviously they still get stone throwers, which are also good at dealing with compies. Is that a second archery range? Oh, no, it's a second state.
Yeah, it looks like you might.
Unless that's just a siege workshop unlocking archery range.
Yeah, I think it probably is now. I thought he might be going compies, but then he's invested in that first stable, and at this stage of the game, you don't want to be trying to make 2 different types of units. I don't think.
So it is going to be the cavalry is the unit of choice. Bongo isn't on gold himself, which like means, I presume he's just going. I mean, that said, he's only on 1 archery range still, so maybe Bongo's actually just going to go for the eco approach, which, like, obviously the Egyptian eco is much better than the Persian one once the hunt has run out, so maybe he's just going to try and lean onto that. But I feel like this does give Blackwoltz a little bit of extra time to try and get something done before, like, the Egyptian power units of the chariots come into play. So we'll see how this push will go. Like I said, the barracks just chilling out on the gate there. It's probably not really going to do anything this whole game, I imagine. It's just going to sit there and be a little bit annoying. And yeah, a little bit of an unusual one. A little bit of an unusual one here, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, Bongo's already got a TC, a second TC down. Obviously, we know that TCs now cost 250 wood as per the latest patch. So the any boom will be a little bit slower, but Bongo's already going to pull ahead more. Black has to push hard, I think, in the next few minutes.
Has Bongo got wheel? Yeah, he does. I was trying to. I didn't remember seeing it come in, but like his villagers are moving faster, so he definitely has it. But yeah,
neither of the players took their outside berries. Actually, is interesting.
Yeah, like that's one thing I normally do note is second granary usually goes to try and collect those. That might have just been a thing where maybe Bongo was expecting Blackwoltz to play aggressive and then he didn't, and then Bongo did that forward barracks thing, so then Blackwoltz didn't feel safe going out either. So that might have just been like the weird early game mind games that were going on there.
Yeah, exactly.
But Stone Thrower is coming forward, and Bongo still hasn't gone for gold. I don't think he actually has seen the cavalry from Blackwoltz yet, but I mean, what would Bongo expect Blackwoltz to go? I feel like cavalry is probably the go-to unit, but hopefully he doesn't hit some of his cavalry here. He's going to take some friendly fire from the Stone Thrower. Oh, careful. And see the first fight unfold. Temple is going up. Well, first a bit of walls go up. Yep, Temple for those priests, and now we get the villagers mining the gold from Bongo. So yeah, Bongo feels like he's going for a little bit more greedy eco approach. Just build up the eco behind us. He's probably just going to try and defend with priests. It's only the one
stone got enough gold though for a priest at the the so it's a little bit slow in that strategy. And Blackwoltz definitely hitting Bongo at the right time. This is what he had to do.
Yep. Yeah, so maybe Bongo's been a little bit too greedy here. Chariot Archer's not really going to be able to deal with the Stone Thrower. Maybe he's just going to try and run distraction here. He's just trying to bait these units away. It is still only the one Stone Thrower, but that's kind of all you need if you can keep it defended.
Yeah.
And yeah, first priest, like you say, a little bit slow to come out, and he's going to need a little bit more than that, I think, to defend. There's a lot of messy, small walls at the moment, though, so Bongo's going to buy himself a little bit more time. Blackwoltz.
Bongo CA are kind of just getting free hits on them at the moment. I don't think he's even going to get the Stone Thrower down.
Alright, we go for first conversion. Trying to come out, and there we go. That was a very quick conversion of that cavalry unit. And I actually was able to use that to just take out the Stone Thrower, but then there are camels in defense, so maybe Blackwoltz still be able to push forward here. And what we're looking at, 10 vills ahead now for Bongo. He's got that large amount of wood. I feel like that was maybe the one weakness of Bongo's macro, is he always seems to have a large number of wood. I guess he was using it for Chariot Archers, but he's had to sort of switch out of those. But yeah.
I feel like Black has possibly missed the window of opportunity.
Yeah, I was literally going to ask you that question. Yeah, so I think that's gone now.
I mean, I was kind of hoping he got through, not just because I want Bongo to lose, but because I feel that would have tested Bongo a huge amount if Black was able to penetrate his base. He's managed to hold it off though for now, and now he's got a couple, I think maybe 2 temples, 4 priests.
Yeah,
starting to get the Massier. Not huge mass at the moment, but slowly adding.
Yeah, Blackwoltz can add in the scouts to try and deal with the priest. The problem is the priests are behind the walls, so it's like the scout isn't really going to do anything here. That's one of the reasons the Egyptians are so powerful. It's like you have that big, nice defensive position to try and hold, and then once you build that advantage, then you can choose when to push out. Second stone thrower does come forward, and actually composite bowman is being researched now. And I think potentially I would have maybe preferred to see that instead of the cavalry. Oh, or maybe like the camel follow-up. Like maybe I'm trying to like think the chess levels down. Maybe like he thought Bongo would see the cavalry and Egyptians would make some camels, and then he was like, oh, I've got camels for your camels, but then Bongo's like, no, I'm just going to keep making chariots and priests. So, in fact, two.
Yeah.
Only
5
two
priests,
like
6 priests.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
7 priests actually. So, yeah, I feel Bongo has got a nice little defense system here. Blackwoltz is holding back. He knows he can't get too close. He doesn't want to lose units to conversion. Probably gonna have to abandon the push, I'd say.
Yeah, and this goes back to me just questioning the choice of this civ on the map. Like I said, I think the one advantage the Persians do have is just that stronger early game. And Blackwoltz hasn't really taken advantage of that. And now I think he's going to be in Struggle Town. I'm trying to think of an answer. I don't know if you've got one, Jesze, for Blackwoltz here. But I think it's going to be difficult.
I think he's going to struggle from here on. Let's see how good Bongo's micro is on the priests. Yeah. But I think he's got this covered. He can basically convert Blackwoltz's entire army of melee units, and Blackwoltz is transitioning to compies, but they're slow. They're a bit costly to get going, and obviously, Egyptian CA are tanky anyway. So, and now Bongo's 25 villages ahead. So yeah, I'm not feeling too confident for Blackwoltz right this moment. If he painted Bongo, if he built his stables forward and the siege workshop forward, it might be different. It might have been different this game, a lot different.
Okay, so here now we're going to see a bit of an engage. It looks like Blackwoltz doesn't really want to take this fight. I think he should just let the cavalry run free here. I guess he doesn't want to leave the stone throwers unguarded, but compies are going to come round, try and maybe snipe off the priests.
Yeah. Exactly what it's doing.
Chariot Archer's trying to sort of shield, and there's plenty of conversions coming out on a lot of the camels. I think the tankiness of the Chariot Archers here, maybe, I don't know, actually the compy mass, pretty strong. These compies do actually do more damage than the Chariot Archers, obviously. A couple of cavalry still in the mix there. I was going to say earlier, I think I would have liked to see just some regular chariots from Bongo to maybe like help deal with the siege, and now also probably help a bit against the compies.
Yeah, I mean, Blackwoltz managed to get the perfect number of compies to push this advance back, and that threat of the snipe on the priest was just enough to, frighten Bongo back. And
I've just noticed now that Bongo is on the way up to Iron Age, and also because he's got tons of resources. He's ahead. I haven't said it before, but he's now ahead over 30 villages, and quite a few conversions on the composite bowman there. I guess most of those priests have finally rejuvenated their favour to try and get some conversions. And Blackwoltz still committing to pumping those composite bowmen, which I think is probably his best unit he has to try and beat back the Egyptians here. Again, Bongo could potentially just add in a couple of stone throwers. Obviously the Egyptians don't get any upgrades to the stone throwers later on, but Blackwoltz himself is still in the Bronze Age. As the engage continues, these outdoor temples may get denied.
Yeah, very dangerous location to build. But Bongo is deciding to try his best to convert all those compies. Getting a few down is just enough to clear that pack off. But Bongo looks like he wants to win this game with priests.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm amazed Bongo actually managed to hold that. He just got a whole bunch of conversions, which balanced out the fight. That's obviously the power of the priest, is you not only get rid of an opponent's unit, you gain a unit yourself.
Yeah.
And whoa, look at all these temples, man. GG's caught on the advance of the Iron Age. And yeah, I think again, I've got to question the pick of the Persians, and then B, not going for that Tool Age rush with usually this map tends to be fairly open, but you can get some spawns where you get like a sort of pocket for your TC to just build some walls in, and you can close stuff up. Yeah, you can see here. I don't know if you've loaded into the game yet. Jesze?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, Bongo is like really open.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally about to say that. And I mean, it's still pretty open for Blackwoltz as well. The one other thing about this map, though, is because there's this huge central mountain. That's the gold mountain, obviously, with a lot of gold on that. Is you do tend to spawn fairly far away from your opponent because you're like usually quite near the edge of the map. So that it's like a very close toss-up of whether or not you think that early rush will actually have an effect. If you're, like I said, if your opponent has a wallable base, then it can go very wrong very quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally, because there's so many berries on the map, this is usually a pretty good map for the Latvia, but obviously we're not seeing that here. And instead we're going to have the Carthaginians and the Yamato, both very solid civs. Do you think we'll see scouts from both players here, or do you think one of the players may go for some different strategy?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I know Blackwoltz is very good at like spreading out across the map, and there's a lot of free food on this map. But he has got a very nice, like, yeah, he's quite open at the front, but apart from that, he's just got one other spot which is already putting a house wall. So if he can actually get this front wall down, he's pretty safe. But then the problem is with this map is if the opponent has the momentum, they can kind of keep you locked in to that space, and then you can find it hard to break out and access the rest of the map, right? Especially if Bongo plants a couple of towers or some ranged units and just
Well, the other aspect,
very aggressive.
Yeah, so the other aspect of this map is obviously like the mountain in the center. It's like, say, if you're trapped in your base, often your opponent can get that like slight high ground on that ramp there, and that makes that even more difficult to like push out of your base, like you're saying, if you do get trapped in. But yeah, like again, as you were saying, Blackwoltz does have those like extra berry patches and stuff in the back of his base, so if he does get trapped, he can at least hunker down for a little while before being forced to come out. Like, and yeah, Bongo's face definitely a lot more open as he just tries to push in the zebra there.
Yeah, Black is a little bit ahead of him on the lure, which is nice. And this is Black's map, so I don't know. Maybe he might go. He's 2-0 down, so maybe he might want to go all in a little bit on aggression.
All right.
He's Carthaginian, so slight advantage. Yeah, I don't know really.
Yeah, well, obviously you should expect the Carthaginians to get a slightly faster tool age, which gives them that opportunity. But obviously, Yamato no slouch once they get into the tool age, of course.
Yeah, Black has just missed out on his second LE with the Fog of War.
Oh, is that?
It's like 1 or 2 tiles short.
It's not quite the classic one. Oh, it is one. There we go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, it's like a diagonal, but I think it is one. I feel like if I ever sort myself out with like emotes for the channel and stuff, I need like a 1-tile emote. But Blackwoltz, I think, has actually... Oh no, okay, he's found the berries at the left there, but he didn't actually find the extra 2 patches at the back right, which hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. But now we do see Tool Age coming in for both players, and it's actually a slightly, slightly less idle time from Bongo, so he's actually managed to click quicker, which is a little bit unusual. Like I said, you expect Carthagin with that just extra 50 food just normally has a slightly smoother Stone Age.
Yeah.
Blackwoltz coming out with that barracks in the center of the map, and now we do see Bongo with the villager coming to the center as well. Sometimes what can happen here is like if you're not directly opposite, the villagers end up crisscrossing each other and both players miss each other. But actually Bongo is pretty en route to this barracks here. I'm not sure if he's going to see it though. No,
yeah, Black is heading straight up to 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bongo potentially to 7 o'clock.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like this map, there's a long way to travel, and if you get it wrong, it can be pretty costly because your rushing gets delayed, or you end up getting rushed yourself before you have anything to defend yourself with.
Yeah, I think Black knows he can wall here though, and that's possibly knows he's safe once he does that. He's got villagers ready, it looks like.
So stable out on Blackwoltz's face from Bongo, as Blackwoltz is going to put double archery rounds, archery range down again. I feel like Blackwoltz has gone for that in quite a few. Well, he definitely did in game one. I guess it was different because we were on Citadel's game too. But yeah, he's trying to wall up, like you say, and I think he is actually going to get that done. So actually, scouts not really going to be able to do much here. And archery range is the second choice. Obviously, Marta get both of these buildings cheaper. But let's see. Blackwoltz. Where are we going? Oh, we've got our Slinger already out from Blackwoltz. It's interesting. I don't know, again, if it's just like a DE thing that the Blackwoltz is willing to commit to the Slinger earlier. Normally you see like axes, bows, scouts first in Return of Rome, and then Slinger response depending on the situation from that point. We'll see if this plays out.
Yeah, it probably is a DE thing. But I think he also knows that the meta in Return of Rome is to get the double range units, so he made his base safe. And also if Bongo is pressuring his walls, he can actually loop back down and use that range. Black can loop back round, use that range to his advantage to kind of get some extra damage on any units pressuring his walls as well. But he's moving in on Bongo at the moment, so let's see how Bongo responds.
Yeah, Bongo is fully walled up himself now. I think his little pocket that he has isn't quite as nice as Blackwoltz's though, just because, in fact, he has actually found those extra berries that the Black has Blackwoltz. So he may actually go for an extra couple of granaries instead of adding farms in. But yeah, I think Blackwoltz still hasn't found his opponent yet, which is really stumping. Oh, watchtower forward from Bongo. He's gonna try and use that to help him break through the wall here. And Blackwoltz doesn't have any units back, so yeah, he's pulling all the units back to try and defend it. And I think he should be able to get that back in time, but I'm not sure if this tower is going to be up before he gets it.
Yeah, that wall is under pressure now as well. You might have to relay the whole wall back a little bit.
Yeah.
But he has got an army moving in. I don't think he's not going to deny this tower, but he might.
I think potentially he could do. Yeah, because there's only one village. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 90%.
It's like a critical moment.
Yeah. Scouts though are going to be very effective in this battle. Blackwoltz actually walking back down the ramp on the hill, which strikes me as slightly odd. But
he did that just to snipe that Vil.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
Because the Vil just went back to try and finish the tower.
So yeah, that was fair enough. We'll give Blackwoltz the points for that percent. And
yeah, but no armor for Black on the bowmen, so the scouts are actually proving to be quite useful. If you can shut this kind of double meta range combo down early, just pick off a few numbers here and there, then. But I can't see Bongo investing too much more in scouts. Maybe. I mean,
here's the Amato, so they do have that discount there. I think it's 10% discount after we nerfed that a little bit, but. And I think he added in an extra 1, which is, I don't know if that counts to committing to scouts. But yeah, Blackwoltz still missing that armor, because I thought Blackwoltz probably would actually be able to win that little fight more convincingly, but it actually ended up going in Bongo's favour, I think, in the end. Yeah, you can see 9, well, I can see on Capture Age at least, 9 kills to 3 on the KD.
I think this is looking okay for Blackwoltz. I mean, look, he's got 2 berry patches at the back. Bongo's already spent a lot of money on a lot of wood on farms. So yeah, Black could potentially get a much bigger military right now.
Bongo is ahead for villagers for the time being, but Black is ahead on the military, like you were saying. game feels sort of in the balance at the moment. There's nothing really from either side that feels like it's going to push it over to a tipping point just yet. It looks like Bongo may just try to work his way up to Bronze Age at this point, though, because you can see he's not making military units anymore. He's just adding in a few more villages, whereas Blackwoltz is still committing to that Bowman Slinger combo that we were talking about.
And Bongo's got a sneaky Vil coming back to try and finish off that tower, and Black hasn't left any units there, and it looks like this tower's going to go up.
You've just noticed those 3 villages that built up the wall for Blackwoltz. They're just, okay, Blackwoltz does notice those are idle now. This tower's not causing any immediate threat from Bongo now that the rest of his army is away, but obviously that's just going to be annoying for Blackwoltz to have to deal with at some point. And Blackwoltz now is going to push onto Bongo's base, and Bongo doesn't have anything to defend at the moment. And Bronze Age is clicked. Again, we've got a lot of word from Bongo. And how many slingers have we got? 4 slingers forward, a couple more slingers on the way by the looks of it. And so he doesn't have like an immediate... Yeah, like I was going to say, I don't think he has the power to punch through the wall just yet. And the arcade quick walls from Bongo, maybe just 1 village. No, 3 villages actually went down.
Yeah, 3 went down.
Blended in with the flag there, couldn't quite see. A 4th village there. So Bongo panic stations, obviously, like I said, Bronze Age is coming in, but I think this is going to be a fairly good push from Blackwoltz so he can break through. And yeah, more slingers being added in. No more scouts having
gold. He's got gold at the front of his base, so his gold is not safe. He can't really easily make cav.
Yeah, that's a good point. So again, Yamato don't have the chariots. So what's he gonna build? I think Bongo just needs to keep making scouts, but there's so many ranged units now. Blackwoltz only just
too many ranged, and Bongo lost another couple of Vils.
Does Bongo
can't get through to back to base?
Does Bongo see? I mean, obviously there's got loads of gold in the middle of the map, but it doesn't have. I mean, it has like a couple of builder villages out on the map, but not enough to really actually gather any meaningful amount of gold. Is he going to have to sell resource? Yeah, he's sold a bunch of wood here.
He's got 5 cav.
Yeah, it's obviously not the best way of getting gold, but then I guess it's better than trying to get that gold there and have all your villagers die, I guess, would be the trade there. So
he's in.
Yeah, Blackwoltz through into the base. Most of the villagers have evacuated, and 6 more just going for a run out here. Wheel is nearly in. Bongo might lose all of these though if he doesn't pay attention. It looks like it was going to try and delete a wall, but hasn't done so just yet. There we go.
Oh, that's a bit sloppy.
Yeah. I think he's
trying to re-wall.
3 more.
That's 3 villages there.
I think he was just sorting out all the other villages that were running the other way, and he probably just wouldn't pay attention.
Yeah.
But the market, the return of Rome market, actually coming in clutch for Bongo here to keep him alive in this game, because otherwise he was completely doomed there with no access to gold. Cavalry. How much damage are they going to be able to do here, actually? Are they going to be able to clear up, do you think, in the centre?
Yeah, I think... yeah, I think they'll clear this middle army. And the fact that Bongo's had to come out of his base might actually help him, because he's now moved into the middle of the map, and he's taken gold, he's found some food sources, so it's almost like a blessing in disguise, maybe having to evacuate.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier on, right? You can sometimes just get stuck in that little pocket that you make for yourself.
Yeah.
If Blackwoltz had gone for scouts of his own, then maybe you could punish this a lot more, but obviously that's the one downside of those ranged units, is they don't have that speed to just cover over the map. And now, maybe that watchtower is going to be the linchpin of all of the plan all along, as the Forge Siege Workshop goes down. And Blackwoltz...
he's doing a massive counter-attack now, Bongo. He's got the army to break through, and Black is going to have to bring everything he can back to defend this, I think.
Well, that's what I was about to say, is Blackwoltz still has all of his Tool Age army in Bongo's old base, not really do that. I mean, there's a couple of villages here, but like I think if Bongo loses them, that's not the biggest of deals at this point. The stone thrower coming out, I think it's going to probably be the big difference maker here. And Blackwoltz still nowhere near Bronze Age, and still making Bowman, which obviously against stone throwers, that's going to be pretty rough. And it's been a decent game from Bongo so far. Sorry, Blackwoltz so far, but I think Bongo is now wrestling control of this game again.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many villagers down on Black, but this army, if this breaks through, which it is about to, yeah,
cavalry are in.
Fatal.
And now, yeah, didn't quite get that last section down, and I think this may be all she wrote, as they say, as the cavalry run in.
Stone throw hit on the villagers there as well, near the gold.
And I mean, it's been some pretty nice games from Blackwoltz, but I think sadly this is actually going to be another 3-0 series. But yeah, I can't see what Blackwoltz. I mean, he's bringing the army back now, but I think it's sort of too little, too late. And takes a bit of a hit from the stone thrower. There's another hit. Yeah.
Stone thrower is so tanky as well.
Yeah.
The range units just can't get a big hit on the range units as well. Plus now underneath the tower, cav chasing. Yeah, there was a point where Black looked in a great position, but Bongo came out of his base, found the gold he needed, found some more food, and
and that's GG.
Yeah,
and amazingly, I think that's maybe the first game I've ever seen won by selling resources at a market. Because if that wasn't a possible, if this was like DE, and obviously you don't have gold mounted in DE.